It's Psych Ups with Brian. I had to hit the mute there. Welcome. Great to have you here. Today I'm talking about National Tradesman's Day. So, I like to check out which day of the year it is, special honorable days. And the day today is National Tradesman's Day. So, what kind of tradesman do you need in the real estate business? All right, well, we have two sets. You have one set that you are going to use, and that really just comes down to a really good GC, general contractor. If you have a more distressed property and you have to do a lot of work like countertops, cabinets, roof, replace bathroom fixtures, bathroom vanities, toilets. If you're doing all that kind of stuff, that's a pretty much a rehab. So you're going to want to get a general contractor, hopefully someone who's really good and who has subcontractors that they can count on and that they already know. So you don't have to necessarily do all the work. The idea of a proper rehab, I mean, the ideal rehab is you have a good general contractor, you walk through the property with them, you agree on the scope of work, you lay out the rehab plan, how long you think it's going to take and all that, and then you move forward with that GC, and they really do all the arranging of the subcontractors. You're not calling roofers, you're not calling flooring contractors. They're doing that. So that's on a big flip. You really just need to worry about having a great GC, general contractor. But what kind of tradesman do you need if you're just doing what we call a pretty house polish? Okay, there's another kind of property where it's in good shape, it just needs a little cosmetic work. And so we can turn this thing around very, very quickly. We buy a lot of houses that are like this. They need carpet, paint. Here's who you need. Okay, here is your team, your contractor team, your tradesman or tradeswoman team that you're going to be using to do your pretty house polishes. And the great thing about this is once you decide on your color scheme, how you're going to paint them, which is usually white with maybe one accent wall, and once you decide on your flooring, which is, a lot of times people just go with LVP, luxury vinyl plank. That's kind of a sturdy flooring these days that people like. It's a little pricey, but it lasts really well. So your contractors, when you are doing a pretty house polish, you're not going to hire a GC and pay some general contractor to line up a few repairs that these houses need. Once you have your team in place, you can literally just call them and give them an address. So you say, hey, here's the address, go over there and do what we do, do the normal job. Okay, so here's the contractors you need to do your pretty house polish. I call this your polish team, not your Polish team. They're not from Krakow. No, they're your polish team. So first you need a flooring contractor. Somebody, oftentimes, very often, more often than not, you need to replace some flooring, maybe all the flooring. So you need somebody who's good at flooring and can do stuff for, boy, you hope you can get carpet. It's gotten more expensive. Everything's gotten more expensive. We used to be able to do carpet for $1 a square foot. Now, if you can do it for $2 a square foot, you're doing good. Hey, Lucky. Hey, Isabel. How you guys doing? Good to see you here, learning all about this. Pretty house polish team, your national tradesman. So flooring contractor. Next, you need an interior painter. Now, these interior painters, the way they do it nowadays is the time consuming part is taping all the windows and the floors. So they'll put all up this plastic and masking tape around and tape everything up, and then they just go nuts with a sprayer. Okay, it's a big white sprayer and it's just like a white tornado went through. That's why sometimes you like to do an accent wall of maroon or dark brown to just offset all that white tornado. Okay, but so you need an interior painter, you need a flooring contractor, you also need, we usually like to do countertops. So I think if you can find someone who's specifically good at countertops, and if you want to do granite, you can do granite for cheaper than you think. You might think, well, granite, this is only $100,000 house. I don't think it's worth it. But it really makes it look awesome. And it's not that expensive if you get a good place. I want you to go check out, do a Google search in your city, whatever city your houses are, for granite remnants. And then say granite remnants, Biloxi, Mississippi, or whatever. So, and then you'll find hopefully some of these boneyards, they call them, around your city where they stack up the granite in like a library. It's like a library. They're all stacked up in like on a shelf. It's kind of cool. Sometimes they get these big slabs where they have remnants, and you can do the bathroom vanities and the kitchen countertops, if there's not too many, off one slab, and you can do the whole thing in all granite, including the bathrooms, for like between $2,000 and $3,000. That is worth it. It really looks awesome, and it's not that expensive from just doing countertops any other way, just buying some kind of a, countertops at Home Depot. So try to find a really good granite guy. You can usually find someone who can put them in relatively cheap if you find this granite remnant place. But check it out. Otherwise, you could just do normal countertops, but you should have somebody who is good and cheap at doing nice looking countertops. Next, you're going to have, so you got flooring, interior paint, countertops, and then landscaper. You need somebody to deal with the outside. And there's almost always, you want curb appeal. You should write those 2 words down. When people pull up to the house, if it has no curb appeal, you have to do something. One of our students likes to do a red door. Every house they do, they would paint the door red, or they would get a new door. So that's, that definitely has some curb appeal for the right people, and those houses, they did well with those. So I want you to think about what's going to make it look nice from the front. The landscaper usually doesn't. I don't want you spending a whole bunch of money on the backyard. Normally, by the time they get to the backyard, they're sold or they're not sold. So, but don't go spending $10,000 or even $2,000 to fix up a backyard, unless it's just a nightmare and the backyard is the big feature of the house. Okay, so we have put grass in the backyard sometimes. I hate to do it, but sometimes you have to, because it's such a primary feature of the house. So then you got a landscaper, and then after that you need a handyman, somebody who can come and replace the faucets and do things like toilets and stuff like that. A handyman who's sort of a, jack of all trades. So that's your primary team. Okay. It's going to be an interior, flooring contractor, interior painter, countertop person, and a landscaper. Now you do need and on top of that, a handyman and cleaners. You're going to need cleaners after everybody's done doing all the work. You'll have cleaners go in there and clean it up and clean the floors and everything, so it looks spick and span. Okay, then you're going to stage it. You don't have to do a bunch of staging, but just really light staging. So that's the plan. Okay, that's the team that you need. So it's basically six. It's National Tradesman Day today. So these are the 6 tradespeople that you need to do a pretty house polish. One last time. Flooring contractor, interior painter, countertop person, landscaper, handyman, and cleaners. Okay, that should be everybody that you need, all the tradespeople that you need to run a pretty house business, to run a business where you're buying properties and renting them out, doing a rental business, building your rental portfolio. Again, if you're doing bigger rehabs, now you can do a fix and hold. That's one thing people don't think about all the time. They think about a fix and flip, or they think about a buy and hold, but they don't necessarily think about a fix and hold. And that's a really good strategy. Sometimes you can buy a distressed house, fix it up, and then refinance it once it's in good condition and hang on to it. Refinance it into a rental loan and hang on to it for a long time. And sometimes you can do that for very little down. So I want you guys to think about that strategy as well. So guys, you have some good comments today. Morning, Isabel. Happy Friday. And Lucky's here. Happy Friday, Mr. Brian. It's going to be a great day. That's the kind of affirmations I like. It's going to be a great day. Every day when you wake up, that's a good affirmation before you get out of bed. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday from Charles. How can I write a testimonial? How does it usually look like? Okay, thanks for responding, guys. A testimonial, you just say how you've used our systems, our teaching, our scripts. We focus a lot on scripts and working with sellers. And if you've had some success using our scripts or our products or our step-by-step checklists, those are also really important. Remember, in the what to say and what to do system, you've got not just all the scripts for 7 kinds of deals, but also you've got the step-by-step checklists, which are all one page for each deal, and every deal is different. The pretty house deal, the cash flow buy and hold deal has 36 steps to it. And if you don't know all the steps and have them all right in front of you on a sheet of paper, you are not as effective. So make sure you're following the what to say and what to do system. And if you want to write us a great testimonial, tell us how you've been using it and how effective it's been and how much you love it, and hopefully how it got you a deal. If you got a deal. Now, if you haven't got a deal yet, you can say how much you love the system, and hopefully you're getting close. You're talking to sellers and you're moving forward. All right. So Lucky, I would love to see a testimonial from you. And when you guys send a testimonial, you can send it. But you know what? In the subject line, I want you to make sure you put Brian and testimonial. Okay, because that way it gets to me. There's a lot of people that use this email. So the email there, did I post it? I thought I was typing that. Okay, so I'm typing out the email I want you guys to use. And this is just the easiest one. And so go ahead and, there we go. All right, so I'm posting that. So wolfcouple@gmail.com. Any guys, if you have questions and stuff. Now I'm pretty busy, and if you have a short deal question, I'm okay with you sending me something. Some of you guys have my phone number, and you're texting me, and you know what? That's the way I'm sure I'm going to hear from you. So if you send me an email, it would be good to send me a text as a follow-up and say, hey, I sent you an email. I sent you a testimonial. I sent you a question. I sent you a deal question, something like that. So just go ahead. I'm going to give you guys permission to go ahead and text me at that number there. Oh, there's a whole bunch more comments here. Okay. Who else talked? Roger. Yes. Awesome to see you, Roger. You emailed me, but I haven't heard back. Okay. Because you know what? I missed your email. I will look you up, Roger, but I did try to look you up under, I don't know if it's an old email or something, but did you send it to wolfcouple@gmail.com? And also text me. You can always text me too, and then I know I get it because that's my personal text cell phone. Okay. You're super team. All right. So yeah, send me, if you want to email it again, just to make sure I get it, and put Brian in caps in the subject line. That's always a good idea. Would you buy a house, ARV, 120,000, decent shape, needs roof, 20 plus years? If yes, how do you work for equity with this deal, and is it worth it? Yes, thanks. Okay, good questions. If the ARV is 120, obviously we got to figure out what we can get it for. So you're saying, okay, I should put that up, guys. Okay, if you buy a house for the, ARV 120, what kind of a price are we getting on it? Obviously, we want to buy it for a really good deal. So if they're giving us, I don't know, 30 or 40,000 in free equity, depending on how much work it needs, that would be potentially a good deal. I mean, if we're going to get that house for 80 or 90, and if we're getting seller financing, that's really the difference maker. I'll pay a lot more if I can get seller financing. So if it's in decent shape, just needs a roof, and you can get it with seller financing for anything under maybe 100, maybe 110. If all you need is a roof and it's really in good condition, you might be able to pay 110 even for it, if you can sell it on work for equity. Now, the way work for equity works is they are responsible for all the repairs, and that's in the document. There's actually a work for equity agreement that you sign with them, and it's just like our lease agreement, but it says they're responsible for doing all the work and the repairs on the property. Okay, so yes, there's one more number I need to know, Lucky, and here's what you guys always got to look at. What's the payment that I can get? If I'm getting it from the seller, if I'm taking over a mortgage, what is that whole payment, PITI, and what can I rent it out for? And is there a $500 spread there, or at least a $300 spread? If there is, then I'm going to aggressively pursue that property. But sometimes you look at it, and even if the seller is willing to do seller financing, their payment is $1,800, and the most you can rent it for, the rentals estimate says $1,700. So that's the kind of property where I don't really even want you pursuing that, because there's no cash flow in there, even if the seller is flexible. So we got to know on that deal, Lucky, what kind of financing can you get, what payments per month, how much can you rent it for, and then what kind of a purchase price. Remember, purchase price is like the last thing I care about. There's 4 terms to every deal: purchase price, monthly payment, length of term, and down payment. I care more about the not so much the purchase price, but the length of term, the down payment and the monthly payment. Okay, so that's great. Isabel, I resent. Okay, I'll look for that. I will look for that. Okay, and I will search under you. So I guess again, guys, I put in our email. I've emailed to both emails. Okay, great. I'll search and find your stuff, guys. Yep. All right, excellent. So you guys got the info. All right, so spread $700 on that. Okay, that gets me real excited. Okay, if you know, she is okay. Is that 80? She is okay with 80K with seller financing. House worth 120, needs a roof. I'm liking this deal a lot. And look at that. You're saying a $700 spread monthly? Lucky, don't blow this deal. This sounds like a great one. All right. So yeah, did you have it under contract? She's already willing to do seller financing. I mean, is there any other delay to getting it under contract? Because it sounds like an amazing deal. Let me know if she needs, you know, if there's something that I'm missing here. Like, does she need a bunch of money down, or, you know, because this looks like a really good one. All right. Yeah, I'd be willing to talk to you about that one, Lucky. So send me, you know, if you want to send me an email with more info on that. But, you know, just from what I'm seeing here, I'd say, you know, if there's any hesitation, don't. To get it under contract, and, you know, we can talk about marketing it and how to do it on Work for Equity. And if you need if you need the form to sell on Work for Equity, let me know. All right. So, wow, covered a lot of stuff today, guys. So lots of information, super packed in there. So if you missed the beginning, you might want to even go back, because there's so much information today, all about doing your pretty house polishes, what kind of crew. It's National Tradesmen's Day. So now you know what you need to do and who you need to work with, who you need on your team to move forward. And that's it. And if you have those 6 people, you've got a great team. One last time, in case you missed it, the 6 tradesmen that you need to do pretty house polishes are flooring contractor, interior painter, countertop person, landscaper, you need a handyman, and you need cleaners. Okay, that's it. Those 6 people, and you will be off to the races. And I don't want you doing this work yourself. Remember, delegation is the key to making a lot of money. All right, all good. Awesome, guys. Where is it located? Yeah, where is that property? Where are you again, Lucky? You're in Raleigh, right? Raleigh. So I think it's in Raleigh, guys. All right, so let me know. Keep in touch. I'm going to look up your guys' emails and try to track them down and make sure I respond to you. So watch for that sometime over the next couple days. All right, so our affirmation for today is, I love my tradespeople. I love my tradespeople. Because, guys, they make your life easier. They make your life miserable. When you have people you trust, you just say, go sick them. Here's a new house. Go sick it. You know, and then you go in there after they're done, and it's gorgeous, and it's just like you like it and just how you want it, and you wouldn't change a thing. Okay, when you can do that and just basically handle your team by making a few phone calls and say, go get it. Here's the address. That's a wonderful thing. Okay. And it won't take you long before you get that. On your first deal, you'll pretty much have that set up, and hopefully find lots of great people. All right. So now there is a form in your what to say and what to do system. It's called your dream team. Okay. Sometimes we call it your power team. That has this list. It has a list of everybody. And not only that, it has questions you ask them to figure out if they're good or not, like pre-screening questions. So refer back to your what to say and what to do system, go into the forms folder and look up the form called Dream Team. Dream Team. Everything I talked about is on that one form, and lots more great questions, pre-screening questions, all kind of good information. All right, so I love my tradespeople. 3 times on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I love my tradespeople. I love my tradespeople. I love my tradespeople. Yeah, good job, guys. All right, 3 deep breaths. Nice deep breath in. Hold it a little bit and let it go. Another one. Oh, that feels good. Oh, loosen up those muscles. Okay, and one more. And when you let it out, relax your shoulders and your neck, where we hold lots of tension. All right, let's have a great weekend. I can't wait to respond to you guys and keep hearing your great stories of success. So I will talk to you on Monday. Until then, keep expecting success, getting awesome training from the Wolf Couple. And let me know if you need anything, guys, and taking action.